morning. I hope you are having a great day and your week is going really well. Today's practice, we are going to move the body. We'll get going right away so we can get into it. And hopefully we won't have any issues with YouTube today. Who knows what's going on with the world, right, with the interwebs. So we have Bella and Bruno in here. I don't know if you can see Bella. She just had breakfast, so she's wiping her face in her bed. But you can see her little tail, I think. And we'll see if Bruno won't distract us. When you are ready, you can come onto the space that you're practicing in and go ahead and just sit on the floor or sit on your booty. So if you're on the floor or if you're in a chair, you can go ahead and just find that comfortable seat. I want you to ground the sit bones really deeply into the floor and then lift up through the chest. If it helps, you can always pad the booty with something. So putting maybe like a blanket or a towel underneath the booty just to lift the hips up. And then you'll rock from side to side. Take a couple of breaths here to ground the sit bones from side to side. And then we'll close the eyes. Just start to transition into the space, transition into our practice. Let's rub the hands together, front of the body, bring them up to the heart. Let's take our 3 cleansing breaths to begin. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh everything out. And you'll do that again, bigger inhale. And a fuller exhale. One last time, big inhale. Feel the expansion through the ribs, the front and the back of the body. Open the mouth, let it all go. And then before you blink the eyes open, just find an intention for your practice, for your day. So it could be just to stay present throughout your entire practice. Maybe it's to be open-minded through the poses. And then maybe you can take whatever your intention is on the mat, take it off into your day. Take a deep breath into your intention. And then you'll keep the lips sealed, let everything go out of the nose. When you're ready, blink the eyes open. Let's go ahead and switch the crossing of the legs. Keep that breath really deep through the nose. Rock from side to side on the other side. As you inhale, sweep the arms up, right knee. So left hand on top of the thigh, right hand behind the body. You just want to lift up through the chest and then pull the belly button towards the spine and start to gaze over that back shoulder. Soften the left collarbone down. So notice if the left shoulder starts to creep up towards the ear, so if you can make a little bit of space for the neck. You'll take another deep breath in. The exhale will deepen the breath. And then inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, twist over to the opposite side. So the back hand will come behind you again, just to lift you through the sternum. And then this right hand you can use as leverage on the thigh to twist a little bit deeper. Use that breath in to lengthen through the spine. And use the exhale to twist a little bit deeper. Next inhale, let's come back to center with the arms. Reach the fingertips up nice and high. And then exhale, let's bring the hands down to the heart. You're going to go ahead and make your way up to standing and however gracefully you can. So come up to our mountain pose. When you come into mountain pose, I want you to feel the feet rooting deeply into the floor. Feel the inner thighs rotating inward towards one another. And then you'll have the palms facing forward, lift up through the chest, soften the shoulder blades down the back. So be careful not to start to jet the ribs out, jet the hips forward. See if you can bring everything right over the ankles, including the ears. You'll find that breath again. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up. Maybe feel the palms touch overhead. As you exhale, you'll hinge at the hips with a flat back. Come all the way down into a forward fold. And then inhale, come up halfway. You can leave the fingertips on the floor or bring the hands to the shins, but we'll rock the weight forward into the toes. So as you're reaching the crown of the head forward, also press your tailbone back. Take another breath lifted. And then as you exhale, pull the belly button towards the spine, forward fold. Little bend in the knees, inhale, rise all the way up. Look at the thumbs, maybe the palms touch overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart, and you're gonna hinge at the hips again, come all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Release the hands to the sides of the body, mountain pose. Just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. So there's no rush to the practice. Notice if you get up and you start rushing, right? That's how your mind thinks the rest of the day. So if we take this time, the beginning of our day, to calm the nervous system, calm the thoughts, then that's going to translate into the rest of our day. So feel that rushing sensation leaving the body and just be here through the poses. Be here in the moment. When you are ready, let's inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway, rock the weight into the toes. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, plant the palms, find your push-up position or high plank pose. So when you come up into your plank pose, I always like to remind people, don't dip the hips down to the floor. You're not lifting the booty up too high. So you want to feel like you're a board. You're reaching through the heels. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Press into the palms. Feel that little spread of the shoulder blades. Take another full breath here. And then you're going to drop the knees as you inhale, rock the shoulders forward past the wrists. Exhale, lower all the way down. Extend the toes out behind you. Inhale, come up half or lift through the back of the head, to a baby cobra. Press into the tops of the feet, press into the pubic bone. And then I want you to lift the hands off the floor to make sure that you're not using the hands as leverage to lift. Use the back muscles. Take another breath in, and then exhale, release. Inhale, tuck the toes. With or without your knees, you're going to push up into plank pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the sit bones. Find that upside down V shape. The heels might not touch the floor, but feel them reaching in that direction. At the same time, you're lifting the sit bones up really high towards the ceiling or the sky. One more full breath. Next, inhale, right leg lifts. You're going to help that foot by the right thumb. So if you need to, grab onto the calf, help it forward. Pop up onto the fingertips. I want you to sink down into that front knee. If you need to inch the foot forward so the knee doesn't go past the ankle, go ahead and just wiggle it forward. And then soften the shoulder blades. At the same time that you're reaching the crown of the head forward, feel that left heel reach back as well. Take one more full breath here. You're going to step that left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms come up. As you exhale, lead with the heart, but hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Rock the weight forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms. Step back, find your plank pose. With or without the knees, inhale, rock the shoulders forward. Exhale, you're going to lower all the way down. Hug the elbows along the sides of the body. Keep the hands in line with the chest. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Press the pubic bone into the floor. Inhale, lift up. So keep the gaze down so you're not opening up through the throat here, but you're also not putting any pressure on the cervical vertebrae there. And Lift a little bit higher with those back muscles. Hug the elbows in. Exhale to release. Inhale, tuck the toes, lift up into plank pose with or without the knees. And then exhale, find downward facing dog. Feel the heels reaching towards the floor. Press your mat down and forward. And that's going to give you a little bit more leverage to lift the sit bones up nice and high. On your next inhale, left leg is going to step right next to that left thumb or right behind the left thumb. You can always help it forward. And then pop up onto those fingertips. Reach the crown of the head forward. Reach the right heel back. So notice any difference on this side of the body. Engage the core. Step that right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms are going to touch. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bring the hands to the hips if that's okay. Then you're going to step out big with this right leg. If that's not the direction that you can fold out or step out to, just make sure you're in a wide-legged fold or a wide-legged stance before we come into this forward fold. So I want you to think if you were on a mat or if you're on a towel, you want to have the edges of your feet parallel to the short edges of that towel or that mat. You're going to inhale, lift up high through the chest, but make sure you're not jetting the ribs out, jetting the hips out. You just lift up nice and tall through the spine. As you exhale, you're going to hinge at the hips. Try and find that flat back, and then release the hands down. So if you have a block, this is where props definitely come in handy. So if you are close to getting your head to the ground, this actually brings the ground a little bit closer to your head. So something to think about. Can have the hands in any comfortable position. Feel the outer edge of the feet pressing down to the mat so you're not dumping the weight into the inner ankles. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Well, inhale, come up. Halfway lift. Rock the weight forward into the toes. And then you're going to bring the hands to the hips. Rise all the way up. Point the right toes towards the back of your space. And you're just going to kick that left heel out just a little bit. Open the arms out to warrior two. Sink down into that front knee. So the arms are going to be out like a T. You're opening the chest to the wide side of the mat. And if you drew a line from your front heel to the back of the foot, to the back foot, the feet would intersect. And then the gaze is just going to be right over your front to middle finger. Take a full deep breath. Right palm flips. As you inhale, reverse your warrior. Left hand comes down the back of the thigh. Soften through that shoulder. And you'll scrape the fingertips across the ceiling or the sky down in front of you. Forearm comes to the thigh. Left hand can be at the hip, or you can extend it straight over the left ear. So I want you to use the right elbow on top of the thigh as leverage to help rotate the torso forward. And then wherever the arm wants to be. Still press into both feet evenly. Lift up through that left hip and then soften through the left shoulder. One more full breath. You're going to inhale, come back into warrior two, extend the fingertips away from one another. Straighten through the right leg. As you inhale, come forward, hinge forward at the hip. Reach the right fingertips forward. And then as you exhale, bring the right hand down to the shin, the floor, or a block if you have a prop. I want you to feel the ball of the right foot driving down into the floor. Left hand can be straight up to the ceiling, or maybe you bring it to the left hip if that feels better. And then always be mindful of your right knee, making sure you are not hyperextending. So even though you're pressing the foot into the floor, you might need to put a little micro bend in the knee. Take one more breath. You're going to bend into that front knee, come back into warrior two, straighten back into the knee, pivot the right foot forward, hands come to the hips. Inhale, straighten through the spine. Exhale, fold forward. So anything that you want to do here when you come into the forward fold, maybe this time you interlace the hands behind the back and you pull the shoulder blades together. Make sure to rock the weight into the toes. Soften the collarbone from the chin. And take another breath wherever you are. Release the hands all the way down. Come up onto the fingertips. And then bring the hands to the hips. Use your next inhale to lift all the way back up. Pivot the left toes forward now. Bend into that front knee. Kick the right heel out. And then you're opening your chest to the wide side of the mat. Warrior two on the opposite leg. Gaze over the left middle finger. Sink down into that front knee. You can even widen your stance if you need to. And then when you're ready, inhale, reverse the left palm, reverse your warrior. Right hand comes down the back of the right thigh. Soften through the left shoulder. Sink down into the front knee. Take one more breath. You're going to use your fingertips to scrape them, reach them up towards the ceiling or the sky, drag them along the wall in front of you. Forearm comes to the thigh, right hand to the hip or straight over the ear. Use the leverage of the left forearm to rotate the torso forward and then find softness through that right shoulder. Maybe you gaze up towards the ceiling or down towards the foot, the front foot on the floor. And then wherever you are, don't forget to breathe.